Hey, it's Adrian here in a very cold Austria. Thank you for joining me. The quantum switch in action at last. Thank goodness it has been such a long time. And for the last month or so, I've been really doing a lot of preparation and settling this model down, because I really started in September, to really work on getting this modality called the quantum switch into some kind of form that can be used practically in the world. Before then, there was a whole lot of information, like in a cloud, and we had to pull everything together. And so it's been a process of a lot of learning, and dealing with lockdowns of various kinds, and sometimes locking down, yeah, not wanting to show up because you don't think it's worth it, it's not going to work, what's the point, kind of thing. And then you see some people who really need and that can benefit from the quantum switch and the stuff that I know. And so for the last month or so, since maybe 2 weeks before Christmas, I got to learn about structuring the whole course into some kind of thing that we can use for lecturing, for giving classes, for doing consulting, for doing coaching, everything. It's now in a form and with a process that is quite amazing, that can actually work. And it has been. Sometimes I sit and wonder, what have I done? What have I achieved in the last year? And that is one of the things I do with the quantum switch stuff, and Take Back Your Life, and My Life 2.0, and all those programs that we've now gotten into a point where it can be launched and help people. And that's one of the questions: what have you done? What have you achieved? Because many times when we struggle and to find the kind of meaning in what's going on, we forget about the things that we have done in the last year. And I had to sit down and think, what have I actually done? It seems like I haven't actually done much. And then I had to go and take stock of the achievements, big and small, successful and unsuccessful, in the last year or so, to as an inspiration and as a motivation for myself, so that I can go on and create the next thing. So my little list was, I wrote a book. Can you believe? I rediscovered the quantum switch, which I abandoned for many years, and I played with stuff, and I called it my stuff, and I messed around. Not messed. There was no reason to do it, because we were busy with other stuff and family businesses and things like that, and that's all gone by the wayside now. So at this time, it's for me now to create this and to put this out there, and this time is perfect to put this work, to take it and really help the people out there. I've been amazed at the connections that I've made in the last couple of months, with people that you talk to, and they understand and they get it, and they can actually identify with the processes that we're going through, and so on, and it's very, very inspiring to see that kind of thing. So tonight is the first session of quantum switch in action, and the idea is to help people to practically apply all the stuff that's been learned. Because I can do a very nice and wonderful long lectures for hours and hours and hours, but it's not going to change any lives. It's not going to make any difference in anybody's life if you just give them a lot of theory, and which is cool. It shows you how clever you are, but at the end of the day, that means nothing, because it doesn't solve a problem. And the problem that we want to solve is to help people to become those people who can create this new future that we will need to create. I'm sure you would agree with me that there is not going to go any back. There isn't going to be going back to the way it was. There isn't the way it was anymore. All right. So we'll need to step up and create something at a different level of consciousness, because that is what it's going to need for us to create something that's going to work in the future. Okay, I hope you understand, and I hope you agree with me. We'll have to become those people. We can't mess around anymore. We can't. Uh, uh, um, I love Netflix. It's cool. I can binge watch series, but to be honest, we need to step up now and help people practically. And it's cool to say I'm going to help you to create a 7-figure business and a 9-figure business. That's not the point of my life. My point is, yeah, I want to make huge, big businesses. Yeah, for sure. And that's one of my intentions, to turn this into a serious business that makes a serious amount of money. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I want you to do the same with your business that you maybe have to dream up and you have to come up with. And the reason why I'm here from now on, and this will be every night at 7 o'clock my time, I will put something on that can help someone and help people to become those people. It's practical stuff that helps people to become the kind of people that can do and create this new future. I see many people who are struggling, and they say they're stuck. They can't imagine that they can be successful. There's a barrier sitting between them and the goal that they want to go to. And sometimes they don't even know what the goal is, because everything is uncertain, everything is in the air, everything is all over the place. And getting over there and making life work is going to be extremely difficult unless you are that person. So one of the things is to break down the barriers of understanding and to break down those energetic barriers that stop us from moving forward. Break those tethers, show you where the tethers are, the anchors that hold you back to the past that has become dysfunctional now. It needs to be broken. You need to burn the boats and you need to go forward, because if you don't, life is not going to be fun. Believe me, it's not fun at the moment for many, many, many people. And we'll have to get used to a different way of being and a different way of surviving in the world. And for that, we need to be those people. I'll keep on saying that we'll have to be those people. And to be those people, what we need to do is create this new future. That's the only way we're going to do this. We need to rethink things like marketing. We need to rethink things like business and supply chain and value chain. We have to rethink marketing. We have to rethink the way that we do everything in the world and start working in such a way that we create a better world for all of us, because it's possible. The greed model is going to implode off. It's imploding already. And people are waking up and saying, I don't want this. I want something different. I want to be part of something that's bigger than me, and we are going to create this better future together. So that is why I'm doing this, because I've had to do this many years ago, and it was very hard, and it was painful, and it took me a long time. It cost me a lot of money, and I made a hell of a lot of mistakes, and it was very painful. Okay, so thank God I got to understand how this works, the process works of transformation. I got to learn from amazing people, live and dead. I have a board of directors. Most of them are actually dead people, who can use the knowledge that they put out in the world to really help create. So tonight, with this first one, I'm going to tell you how I get to this. Every night when I go to bed, I ask a question. I put a question out into the spirit, and I ask, what is it that I need to do tomorrow? And this morning I woke up at 4 o'clock, and it wasn't, wake up and wait for something to happen. It was wake up and knew exactly what needs to be done. And that was to introduce the people to the sound and the words and the thing that I'm going to show you now. Having the sound, it's called sound healing or sonic healing. The stuff I use is from a company called Meinl. My son works there, and he's a real big shot. I bought this, and I'll show you how it works within a few seconds. Now, the emphasis is on words, sound, intention, emotion. Put that all together, and with that we create a force within ourselves and around ourselves with which we can go and engage with the world and really make a difference. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share some screen with you here. And there you go. All right. So the quantum switch in action. Interesting stuff here. Little PowerPoint ready to be shared with the people. Okay. When I went and really rediscovered myself, really, it was going back to the first principle of energy is everything, and energy, and we are energy, and that's the first principle. That's who we are. We are energy. Energy is everything. Everything is energy. That's just it's so simple, and you can't complicate this, because that's the problem sometimes when something is this simple, to go and understand it and say, you know, we are energy, and energy is everything. I read once in a book of spiritual intelligence where someone said that we are congealed, we are energy congealed into shapes, and some of our shapes are a bit larger than others. Okay, mine especially. I have lockdown body, so which I'm working on. Believe me, it's happening. Changing habits and doing everything different. So we are congealed into shapes. We are energy congealed. We are sound. Okay. We are light. We carry words. Our intentions have energy. We have emotions. Emotions is energy in motions. Emotion happens when we feel something. And I know that's a very unpopular thing for most people in the world. Don't feel so much, you know, you can't feel sad. Don't cry. Don't feel like this. Don't feel like that. Don't be so happy. You're going to be miserable soon. Don't feel. And that's the model that we older people have created the world around us as don't feel. You shouldn't feel, especially if you're a man, you're not allowed to feel. You know, you actually get upset with people when they become emotional. We are discouraged to show emotion. This is the one thing that really shows us what kind of consciousness we are connected to. Well, that's a very big subject for a future session. All right. So if we have no emotion, we do not retain the memory of an event. And that's something interesting that stuck out to me when I was watching Tony Robbins the other day. When he said the sentence, I said, oh, no, actually, it's quite true. It's a good way of saying that, is if we remember something because it's significant, because it's had a meaning, then we add emotion to it. And as we add emotion to it, it stays in our awareness. It's like it beds down. It becomes part of our memory. It's our brain circuitry and our conditioning and our energetic circuitry that runs our whole life becomes part of that, and it shapes your life that goes forward. A very simple example is, I use it quite often, is a bus. You go and you stand, you walk down the street, and there you see the bus go, and you just see the bus. It's like, there it goes, no big deal, nothing happens within you or without you. So, you know, and then the next time you on your way somewhere, and if you don't catch the bus, you know, you're going to be, you know, you have a problem. And then it happens, you miss the bus, and the bus goes there, and you feel upset and unhappy. For the rest of your life, you will remember that bus for some reason, because the emotion that went with that event has now cemented that event into your memory. All right. So, and for the next time you need to go to the bus, you either go a lot earlier, or you'll try and find a different way of getting there. But you'll make a plan, you'll make something different, because there was a significance in the event, right? So that's where the emotion comes in, right? So what we're going to do tonight is I'm going to show you about energy. And most of you know this kind of stuff, like the chakras or energy centers that we all have. We all have one, all these things. And there are many theories about this, and some very interesting ones that are coming out now that we will discuss at some other time, which is very much on the higher grade master degree level stuff of this. And not that I'm an expert in that, but I've learned some hectic stuff in the last years or so. the point here is to really think about the 7 chakras, the 7 energy centers that we all have. Now, if you think of every one has got a certain frequency, it operates on a certain frequency. And the people from Meinl has designed and made these things called let me just show you here. Is made these energy chimes. Here they are. I've got a whole set of them here. They're all 7, and they're tuned to every chakra. Every chakra, every energy center has got a certain frequency, and these things are tuned to that. Now, what we do is I will play these chimes, and you will hear the sound of the different ones. We'll start here at the bottom with the root chakra one. So listen to this. This is the sound of your root chakra. Interesting. If you play this in a big hall, you actually don't. The sound it sounds like the sound doesn't come from the instrument. It fills the room. It's quite an astonishing piece of equipment. The next one is the sacral chakra, which is over there. You see there in your bladder coccyx area. So then the next one is your navel or your power chakra. The sound is different sound. And they carry these things in here. Okay. Then the next one is your heart chakra. Then you have the throat. Then you have the brow, which has got to do with your intuition. And then the crown chakra. If you play them one after the other, they sound like this. When you play them like this, sometimes if you play them all the same volume, some of the sounds will stand out. Some of them will catch your attention better, catch your attention more. And that's got to do with this energy center of yours that needs work, that needs to be put back into balance, or the ones that are extremely active. Okay, so it'll resonate with the sound that comes through it. It is extremely powerful to experience these things, and I've been playing with this now for a year or so, almost on and off, and finding out how this works for me. So what I've found is when I have a certain emotion, when I feel certain emotion, I will play the chimes, and then the one that sounds out of tune will be the one where I need to work. Okay, so I want you to listen to this and kind of, if you can, where you are with what you're listening to, just give it get an idea of anyone that's not in tune. Okay. I want to play you the heart one. Okay, the heart one, this one. Does it sound like it's making any kind of sense to you? Does it sound slightly out of tune? Does it sound a bit harsh? Does it sound very smooth? Does it sound warm? Does it sound sharp? That will depend on the state of that energy center of yours. And we know, if you look at heart math, if you look at the understanding of the connected body, your heart, your brain, and your gut is all connected energetically with each other. And when it works as a unit, when all three of them work as a unit, then you become a lot more effective as a human being, operating from a heart center and not from your head. We know the head is very good to figure stuff out, but you need the heart to guide that decision making. We know that the heart has got a massive energy radiation around your body, far bigger than your brain. This is science. This is not speculation. If you're into heart math, which I will explain to you soon, which is an amazing tool to use. I will have to get permission to show you, because I used to be a coach for them, but I haven't been for a while. So we need to understand the immense power of our bodies and the radiation of our heart, and the effect that we have around us. You've stood somewhere next to a person, and or maybe you didn't even see the person, but you felt the presence, either a good presence or a bad presence, because the energy that they radiate clashed with yours or resonated with yours, and then suddenly, you have an awareness of a person. We have that kind of thing. It's called intuition in a sense, but we are tuned to be aware. That's our bodies. That's why our bodies have all these energy centers, so that they can respond. Every energy center has got to do something, like spirituality with your crown chakra. The brow has got to do with intuition, as your third eye thing is behind you. The throat's got to do with communication. If you have a lot of throat, jaw, teeth problems, then it's about you not being able to speak your truth, speak your words, say what you need to say, and mean what you need to mean, what you say, and say what you mean, kind of thing. Then we have these problems, and believe me, I've had problems with that. Your heart chakra is about the love, and your radiation and your connection to other people comes via the heart, not via the head. And then your power is your navel, your solar plexus area has got to do with your power and your drive. And when that goes off, then we lose our courage, and life becomes quite difficult. Then your sacral has got to do with your sexuality, and then your root chakra has got to do with survival. All right, so we know this model shows up in many different ways. Behind me, you can see there is the map of consciousness, just the top half of it, and that's got to do with all these chakras that it shows you there. And when we look at all kinds of maps of human behavior, they all correspond to all these things, corroborate each other. All right, so what I've done is here's a bell and this thing is an Indian bell made in India. You can hear it's got quite a voice on it, and that I use when I do meditation to start it and stop it. So you condition yourself. So okay, ding, the bell rings, and now you go into meditation, because sometimes you don't need it. For some people who don't need it, so I don't always use it, but when I do, it's when I need to say, okay, I'm starting here now, and I'm going to do this. So okay, that's this. But back to these things. All right, so now I want to show you something. We now understand all the sounds. Okay, every sound, energy center has its own sound and its own frequency. Okay, so now, say for instance, just for instance, like we have a problem with the power, or the navel chakra, the power center of our bodies. Okay, so this is the sound that plays for that one. Okay. Excuse me. Okay. Now, say for instance, that one sounded a bit off. Okay, for you, just for example. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk to it. Now, I can see people go like, really? You talk to yourself? Well, don't you? I'm sure you do. All right. So what we're going to do is we are going to go and use Ho'oponopono. Okay. I've been working with Ho'oponopono for a long time, and it actually does help. The philosophy, the story of it was a psychiatrist in Hawaii who used to use Ho'oponopono for the healing of people, and for the changing of the atmosphere and the energy and the spirit within an asylum for criminally insane criminals. And he never saw anybody, but he cleared the whole place. It's closed down now. Everybody was released after a while. And the philosophy behind it is like, if something shows up within your life and in your awareness, then you can make a difference there. Okay, you will not notice it if it is not for you to make a difference. You will not notice it. Okay, now most people will say, I'm not very much into this kind of stuff. Where the reason why I'm showing you this is because you do have a power. You do have a power to make a difference in a situation. It might not be your fault, it might not be your responsibility, but what you can do is you can make a difference there. You can change the circuit. Let's for just a moment consider energy circuits. When you do something, you establish a behavior. You have an energy circuit that starts running in your life in that area. It's a certain frequency, and it just keeps on going. It's like a little vortex that starts turning, and that energy stays there. Okay, and when we feed it, it'll draw more power towards it, and when we do not feed it, it'll stop working. Or if we replace it with something else, it will stop working. It is like a light bulb. If you give it power, it'll shine. If you take the power away, it'll go away. But many of these energy circuits within our lives and within our bodies and within our consciousness really works without us even knowing that. We don't even know about this. And many times when we want to change a behavior, you find it almost impossible. It's because you don't know about that energy circuit that's running your life. It's gone into the subconscious. And when it's into your subconscious, you don't know about it anymore, but it's still there and it's still running. I have an amazing process called the River of Life, where I take people through a process so that they can see, where are the inflows and the outflows of their life and the nature of it and how that changes the river and the nature of the river of their life. The idea is to create a possibility for you to have a strong, silent, deep river that runs strong, not this shallow, noisy thing that really just makes noise and sucks all your energy out of you, and it's toxic and doesn't serve you when your river is polluted. And you might think, it's just how it is, but you can change it, you can clean it up, and it's possible. So that's for a different discussion. Okay, so now what we're going to do is whenever life shows up for us something, it means that we can make a difference. We can do something about it. So for instance, if you let's take a very crude example. You walk down the street and there's a dog barking at a child, and you can walk up and take the dog and hold it back or stop it or do something about the situation. When you see people fighting, you can step in if you want to, and if you're brave enough these days, you can step in and make a difference in the situation. It goes for energetics as well. Okay, so when you are in a situation and there's a fight, and I've seen this work many times, where you walk into a situation and you become aware of it, and I'll show you how to do your awareness. I've had for years I used a kind of kinesiology to do that, and it really worked well. I stopped using it for some time, and then I got sick. Long story, different episode. And it's not because I didn't get sick because of that, but anyway, next time. So what happens is you have these energy circuits that are running within the situation, and it makes the sound go off. Okay, your energy center detunes. It tunes out a bit. So what happens then is, if you use Ho'oponopono, that's one of the ways that you can use it, is by the words and by your intention, you can change it back. Okay, they call it cleaning. So you can clean the energy within that circuit, and so sometimes the circuit will dissolve into nothing, it'll stop, or it will change. It will transmute to a higher level of consciousness, which will also change the situation. And in many cases, it can actually bring about healing. Your body knows how to heal itself in many cases. So you can't talk about this too much, as you know, but the idea is to change the energy so that the system changes and the system heals itself. All right. Okay. So now you will see there, if I can just highlight this, these are the words there. I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, and thank you. Now, if you say it like that, it sounds like, that doesn't mean much, but let me explain to you, okay? You say that with an intention. You get into a situation, all right? You see the situation, you pick up the energy. If you're aware enough, you sharp enough in your awareness, you pick it up. You will know if you are aware of it, and if you are made aware of it by your body and your energy system, then it means you can make a difference. Okay. So then you take your attention and you put it on that, and you say, I am sorry. Does it mean that you did it? No. But it means that it stops the circuit from growing. Okay? Believe me, it works. Okay? Then please forgive me. Please forgive me dissolves and lets go of the grip of something. Please forgive me. If you messed up and you go to someone, you say, please forgive me, and that person is able to forgive you, then it breaks the circuit. It breaks that negative and life diminishing circuit that's running in between in your life. Okay, so please forgive me. I love you is a sign or a word of connection to other people at a higher level of consciousness. Please forgive me for the lower. Please, I love you for a higher level. So, and then thank you. Thank you is about gratitude and saying that thank you for this thing being fixed. Thank you for this thing being repaired and this thing working again. Okay, so these 4 sentences or 4 phrases really are amazingly powerful when you do it with intention. Okay, with the intention of saying, I am sorry. And you really feel it. You feel it. You can sometimes feel the grief if you want to. The more you become aware of the energy that's within this I'm sorry, the more you start arresting the flow of that circuit. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Please forgive me. I love you and thank you. When you start working with intention, I'm putting the intention into this now, and you can feel it. When I say this to you, I'm sorry, please forgive me. I love you and thank you. If you do this 3 times, that's how they did it. Then it starts shifting the energy, and then you can make higher consciousness decisions about the situation. And the people involved in this can also make higher consciousness decisions. And in many cases, it breaks the circuit of lower consciousness behavior, which then makes the person go drift higher into higher consciousness states. Okay, so we're going to do, it's not an experiment, we're going to do an exercise. All right? And we're going to use let me go back there. We're going to use the power chakra there, okay? Because at the moment, a lot of people are feeling very, 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 very powerless. I'm sure you would agree, yes? So a lot of people are feeling very powerless at the moment, and that's with reason, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to clear away all these other chimes, leave this one here in the middle. What we're going to do is I will play this one, and then we will say these words with intention, okay? You can feel the powerlessness in a situation, right? In that situation where you meet these powerless people, okay? So just feel it. You don't have to hold on to it. It's not yours. It doesn't belong to you, but you can do something about it. It doesn't belong to you. It won't come back to you, right? So very simply, what you do is I'll play it, and then after every phrase, I'll play the sound again, and then we'll do it twice. And then we'll do it 3 times. We can just do it right 3 times, okay? So put your attention on your navel or your power area or your solar plexus, wherever you decide to put it. It is there in the middle there where the tummy comes out and bulges, in my case anyway. So okay, so let's just for a moment, and this is very simple but very powerful. If you can slow down for a moment, just sit down, and just allow your head to become calmer and feel the energy going from your head, from your attention, just let it go down into your heart area. Okay? When you use it like this, it goes down into your heart area. What you can also do is you can rub your hands and then do this kind of thing, and feel the energy between your hands. Okay? And then you can just go like this, bring it down. You can feel the heat of your hands into your chest and allow it to sit there. When you do this, your stress level goes down immediately. And then the next thing I want you to do is I want you to do in my home language called is Afrikaans. We call it a snak. A snak is a double sigh. Okay, it goes like this. That is a process of filling your lungs and then just expanding your lungs, and it breaks the stress cycle. It's like do that 3 times. Stress goes, takes a dive. All right. So now we're going to do, so you can take that calm energy that's sitting there and let it go down to the solar plexus, or the energy center of our power. And this is what it sounds like. What you can do is take the sound, bring the sound that you're hearing, and bring it in and allow it to sit on your solar plexus. And then, keeping your attention there, say the following: I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. And thank you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. Third time. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. You will become aware of the energy sitting around your navel areas and solar plexus, the center of your body. Probably and possibly you'll find a softness there and a warm, fuzzy feeling that develops there. And understand that that does now become part of your lifting your consciousness from fear into love and into gratitude. Lifts it from regret to forgiveness, to love, to gratitude. Gratitude is the highest, one of the highest level of consciousness, and it really brings about a higher levels of consciousness, makes it available for you. Okay. So you can sit like this for however long you want to, and do some meditation and allow that nice feeling to just dwell all over your body. And again, you can rub your hands, feel the heat, allow the energy just to move around your body and through in your heart and in your head, and just allow it to sit there. I have an amazing awareness that I get when I really get connected to this, and the cat comes and sits on my feet. It happened before, many years ago, when I did a session with someone, and the cats actually came running into the room, and they came and sat on my feet while I was busy doing one of these energy sessions with a woman. And it's quite amazing. The cat was just here. He just came and sat down here and was lying on my feet. So it's gone again now. I think the chimes give him a fright. But they know what it is, and they understand the energy, and I want you to really understand it too, and use it to your benefit, and really use it for yourself and for other people. If you have a situation with family members that are having a very hard time, bring them into your consciousness and listen to where their problem is. If they don't, fight with them, just It's not about praying for them. It's about bringing the healing into that situation. I'm not saying it's gonna happen all the time and every time that you try and do this. What I'm saying to you is that it's going to make a difference. And the more you do this, the more you practice this, the more powerful you will become as a human being and as an energetic being that can make a massive difference in the world in an amazing way. So I want to encourage you to practice this kind of thing. I'm going to bring every night, I'm going to bring in a different set of something that we can work. And if this means something to you and you want to have your own session, just let me know. I can help you. This is not the purpose what I'm doing this for. It helps me. It helped many people. It helped many people all over the world. Joe Vitale, it helps him. He's a very rich man because of this. one of the reasons why he is. And really, it's about dissolving that energy and allowing the energy to flow through your whole body. And if you really want to do the exercise with all of your energy centers, do it with all of them. Okay, so it's going to take a while, but it'll take like 20 minutes, half an hour or so, but you can clean the energy center so that the energy flows properly. Because when it flows, you go from a grind to flow. And when you keep on flow and you can flow at higher levels of consciousness, you get to a position of superflow. And when you get to superflow, life becomes an amazing adventure. Okay, it's not something you can maintain and sustain all the time, but it's something that's there for you to use. It's something that you can actually use quite amazingly. All right. So I thank you for being here, and I thank you for your attention. If you're still here, quite amazing. I'm looking forward to bringing you some more power and some more spirit of joy and peace, and the spirit of release for the fear, and release from the release to the captives of fear, and release to those who are prisoners of fear, and to help them to bring back their joy and experience the joy that they really can experience. That's what I'm here for. That's my whole thing. Okay. Many blessings. I'll see you tomorrow night.